The hour of 12 o'clock having arrived, and in obedience to the laws of the state of Minnesota, it becomes my duty as your Secretary of State to call the members of the Minnesota House of Representatives to order.
On Tuesday, the Minnesota House of Representatives officially kicked off the 2019 legislative session. With one representative absent, 133 members received the oath of office, and Representative Melissa Hortman was sworn in as the new Speaker of the House.
To my colleagues, thank you so much for entrusting me with the privilege and honor of being your Speaker. Steve Swigum was the first Speaker I served under, and I thought he did a really good job of showing us that the Speaker is the Speaker of the Minnesota House, not the Speaker of the DFL House or the Speaker of the Republican House, but the Speaker of the Minnesota House. The campaign is over. It's time to take off the blue jerseys and the red jerseys, and it's our job to govern here together as Team Minnesota.
In what is typically a ceremonial opening day floor session, a lively debate on temporary House rules broke out. After House Majority Leader Ryan Winkler proposed temporary rules intended to streamline the legislative process through changes in the House's committee structure, House Minority Leader Kurt Daudt unsuccessfully proposed an amendment to prevent those changes. Daudt said the new structure would make it incredibly difficult for the public to keep track of bills or participate in the legislative process.
You're taking away the public's ability to participate in the process. I know you probably are annoyed that we're having a real conversation about things that will impact Minnesotans. I hope you're not, because this is a big deal.
Ultimately, the House voted 74 to 59 against the Daudt amendment and adopted the temporary rules by the same margin. On Wednesday, House DFLers held a press briefing to announce their priorities for the 2019 legislative session. The sponsors of 10 pieces of legislation introduced as House Files 1 through 10 during Thursday's House floor session described the proposed bills as the Minnesota Values Agenda.
So the House DFLers traveled the state to listen to Minnesotans and have conversations about our shared values. We listened to people's hopes, their dreams, their fears, what keeps them up at night. And what we learned is that Minnesotans care deeply about our state and want to see each other succeed. We want affordable health care, not just for ourselves and our families, but for our neighbors. We want world-class schools for our children and all the children in our communities.
Minnesota is a really strong state, but we know it can be even better, and that economic prosperity hasn't reached all families in all corners of the state. At the Capitol, our work will focus on improving economic prosperity for all families across the state. We're going to work very hard to ensure world-class educational opportunities, more affordable, more accessible health care, and investing in Minnesota's critical infrastructure, from clean energy to transportation to broadband.
House Minority Leader Kurt Daudt responded to the DFL agenda in a statement. Democrats said today that it was essential to raise health care taxes. House Republicans couldn't disagree more. Our priority will be to lower taxes and health care costs for Minnesota families. Members of the new House Republican caucus also shared their thoughts on the DFL agenda.
It was very clear that the Democrats believe that that's not enough. Government needs to get much bigger, according to them. We have another idea. Our idea is, instead of growing government, taking money from hardworking Minnesotans and forcing them to flee our state like they have been, we actually shrink the size of government. Instead of making government bigger and people smaller, we bring government to be smaller and allow people and their families to be bigger again.
The House wrapped up the opening week with another floor session on Thursday. The first 31 bills of the year were introduced, and the body memorialized former Representative Tom Rukavina, who passed away on January 7th.
Thank you, members. Let's take a moment of silence for our friend Tom.
For a recap of what happened during the first week of the 2019 legislative session, or for more information on the House, check out our session daily coverage on the House website, www.house.mn/sessiondaily.